Welcome back to the Audible Amazon Project, where we're doing interviews with artists who have come to Big Condo Academy to work on tracks, songs, and collaborations together. Artists who haven't worked together and everything else like that. And one of these artists is here with me right now, and that is OTB the Realest. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, Chase. How are you, my friend?
All right, man. You know, I always kind of like, I've known OTB for a while, but I always got to ask about this OTB the Realest, right? Because it's like, you know, I can see the OT in the, well, I can't really see it in the middle. But I was always saying, what is OTB? And you said it's what?
Yeah, so OTB is, it means only the best.
Right.
But not in the vain way that I want to put across that I'm only going to produce the best of my ability.
Yeah.
So it's only going to be the best lyrics on the best songs possible, and then only the realest as well, because I don't like to lie through my music. I don't like to fake or cheat. Everything's real about it.
Yeah.
So it's only the best lyrics with only the realest lyrics as well combined.
Now, you say, like, you've been writing since you were, like, 12 and everything, but, you know, you started out like most people, probably, like, with a group of mates, you know, like, you know, going around, like, being a part of a crew. But then, like, you went solo, right, around, what, like 2019?
Yeah. So originally I started writing when I was younger, and actually I was the only friend in my group that they wanted people to rap for. Like, we were at parties, they were like, "Oh, Jordan, go rap and do some bars and stuff." And I never really took it because the scene of the music industry at that time was very trap, very gang influence, and I didn't want to join the scene because my style wouldn't have made it in any sense, way, or form.
Kind of clean, isn't it?
It's very clean. It's very emotional. It's very sensual. Like my music, I like to take people on journeys. They can reflect on their own lives. And so during the period of 2016, 2017, when I thought about getting into the rap scene, there was no market for me because everything was all about trap. It's all about drill. It's all about this, and like all the stuff I don't try to represent.
Yeah.
I want the kids to come up in a better light. I want them to be inspired by lyrics. That's why I class myself as a lyricist, no longer a rapper, because there's a difference between the both.
Yeah. Now, what I always found very interesting about your story, because first of all, it's hard to be in this business, isn't it?
Of course.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, so many people always say that they're a rapper, an artist, or a lyricist, whatever, and stuff like that. But, you know, they don't have that longevity. They don't have, like, that clout out there and everything. But what a lot of people also don't have is that they're not signed. You know, a lot of them are unsigned. But I remember, like, from back in the day, a record label approached you. This was like about 5 years ago. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it was the first time I really tried getting myself out there. So after 6 months of having music industry courses with Big Condo, developed a really good relationship with yourself and Roy and Phil as well. So when I was sending my music out to all of these different places, like, I was just going local at first, and you guys actually told me, you know, why to send it all over the world? They need to hear it. So it was December of 2019 when I got a response back from a record label, and they wanted to sign me in a way and for a master publishing deal. But it was the first time I've ever been offered a deal in my life. It's 7 pages of just writing that I didn't understand. So that process was really fun to bring my contract in to you guys, which you really helped me and you guided me. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being duped. I didn't want that type of,
I mean, you know, that whole idea of being duped happens a lot, doesn't it? I mean, especially like here was a label that wasn't even local, so you couldn't even meet with them or anything like that. And it was a foreign label. I think what you say, New Zealand, and stuff like that. So it was a lot of kind of like red flags going on. But what I appreciated the fact that like you're still with them, you know, and like, you know, not only did they give you like a 50-50 deal, but the main thing is what most labels do. If they tell you about that upfront money, so if you give me like about like $250 or whatever, you know what I mean, that gets us started and everything. And you said what?
I said no. I said if you believe in me and my music, then you'll invest into my career as well as I do. So.
But if you believe in me, I will do, you know, what I gotta do. But I need a little do.
Exactly, yeah. But
and that's one of those things that took so long.
Yeah, it was a case of like I didn't want to have to, like, I pay enough into my career already. I pay for my own recordings, my own videos, promotion, social media, marketing. So when it comes to these labels, you are looking for a comfort shoulder, really. People that believe in your music as much, but they have the means to help you get to where you need to. And that was the great agreement I have with my label. I have such a brilliant relationship with my manager. We have meetings on FaceTime every week. We meet up twice a year. So it's just a really fruitful relationship, but it's making sure that it's the right one for you. It's the right direction as well. Because not all record deals, they could be amazing, but it couldn't be for you potentially.
But mainly is that you stood your ground, which is what a lot of people don't do. You stood your ground, and it worked because basically they were able to take the money off to the back end.
Yeah.
So they take it off of the streams. It's like, look, you believe me, I believe myself. Let me put my stuff out there, and then you'll get your money that you get. And that's how 5 years later, you know, I mean, touch wood, however you want to look at it. But, you know, I mean, hopefully people can learn from that experience of, like, don't just rush into things. Because, I mean, as you know, coming from the industry, which is what we were talking about, you know, there's so many people got contracts and advances, and that's all they do is just to hook you in. You know, with that and everything, and it's like they own you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, remember that you needed that suit, that car, that
all of that.
You know
I never wanted to get caught in that vicious cycle because I look at 90% of the music industry as borderline evil. Like the way that it comes to it, and there's only a 10% margin where you can actually get purity out of the music industry. And that's why I want to reflect that onto my own career moving forward. In 20 years' time, I want to be proud of the fact to say that I stuck to the purity and the pure side of the music industry rather than being sucked into the fad and, you know, the agendas and being changed and
So now that brings us back to, you know, this project because, like, as you said, you've done several other, like, workshops and projects with Big Condo before. So basically you contacted with this Audible project about coming in and, like, being able to create a track in the weekend kind of thing. And, like, so you come in and then it's like you're offered an opportunity or you see an opportunity where you meet a female artist who you could collab with. So tell me, what intrigued you about Nicole Nixon?
So it was just a pure country aspect to it because I've been exploring. So as I've been working on my work career, I've also been carrying on writing and I've been trying to develop a new style within myself because it's all right being a rap artist and, like, being a lyricist and that, but if you don't have a unique, like, kind of thing about you, like, you just go unnoticed like everyone else. So I started working on more melodies within, like, harmonizing within my rap and coming up with hooks. And I found out that I've got, like, almost like a UK country vibe with my singing vocals. So as soon as I found out there was another, like, a country artist on it, and as well as Ree as well, because Ree's an amazing R&B singer, absolutely amazing. We are going to be working together in the future, but the intrigueness of that's potentially my future style and, you know, and something that it just really intrigued me. Like, country music is powerful, the emotions in it, the stories in it. Like, you can't be a country artist unless you've gone through some type of, you know, turmoil or, you know, to be a true country artist, you can't just go cover a country song, especially if you have, like, an all right upbringing or something like that. You'll never be a country star because the meaning of country is, like, this is where you come from, how I developed myself, how I felt that day, and it really reflects onto who OTB is as well within my music. So
that brings us to the track that you guys worked on together, which you call Broken Road. Now, when I asked you about it, you said it was something about, like, releasing, like, inner demons and stuff like that. But can you tell me a little bit more about the song and how personal it is for you?
Of course, yeah. So the concept of the song we come up together was, like, almost a protagonist onto an envoy of trying to relate to someone else, but also guide them in the right direction. So for me, the personal part of this song was I've walked along a broken road most of my life. I grew up in care, and then when leaving care, I got with a woman and we had a kid together. And unfortunately, it didn't work out between us, and he suffered the consequences of two adults bickering and two adults' animosity towards each other to completely separate for his life what he needed. So for me, the first verse of this song was reflecting really on how all the questions I had, like, if you can be a good man and a good father, how can these things still happen to you? You know? So that to me was very personal, and I wanted to make sure that it was written in a way that it wasn't describing my story, it was describing stories.
Yeah.
So other people can relate. And,
yeah.
So that was the most important part for me. And acting as the protagonist, like my son had a massive influence on it, because I did used to ask all of these same questions. I used to fight against the voice of reason, and it wasn't until last year I realised that my broken road has been a meaningful part of my journey. And if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't have the relationship I have with my son. I wouldn't even have the relationship I have with my son's mother today if I hadn't walked along that broken road. So the redemption arc of this song is amazing. Yeah.
And as you say, it's about truth and vulnerability.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it sounds very powerful, man, ODB. I mean, it sounds very powerful. So after it was done, you know, how did you feel about the song?
I felt inspired by the song itself. I took away from the fact that I'm on the song itself and listened to the lyrics itself and imagined if someone else had done the song, and I just took a completely unbiased opinion, and it's a pleasure to go through it in the song structure, but then it's also hard to listen to it almost, because you're like, how can you fight against something so much when it's so simple?
Yeah.
But nothing's ever that simple once you go through things piling on, all the eggs in one basket, rather than separating it out and saying let's deal with it one at a time and go around it in a certain way. So the end product of the song itself was, to me, is amazing. I can't wait to share it out. I can't wait for people to listen to it, people getting inspired by it. So
sounds amazing. Now, you said like your last release was like in 2024 with Game Over.
Yes.
But then you decided to take a little bit of a break from recording because you're now working like as a live music coordinator at Primal Live. Just tell us a little bit short about that.
Yeah, so
we're closing down.
I actually joined. So Primal Live was it started out as a competition, charity fundraising competition for the local homeless charity here, Whitechapel Centre. And that was the first thing that intrigued me to the competition, because the Whitechapel Centre helped me when I first come to Liverpool. So it was very important that I gave something back. I've developed myself as an artist. I've settled myself down. I need to give back to these people that helped me when I need to pay it forward. Exactly. So I actually joined the first Primal Live competition, and I won Best Original Song. Yeah. And I was the only rap artist on the event as well. Wow. So I'm fighting against 30 other singer-songwriters, and I'm the only rap artist. And the special guest judge, Duncan Lewis, selected me out for a special prize for the Best Original Song, because I wrote a song about homelessness and what my experiences and other people's and general outlook on what the government sees it at and what it should really be. So I wrote that, and then I won the competition, but I already expressed my interest to Andrew, who was the owner of Primal Live. I said, I want to work with you guys. I love what you're doing, and I feel like I can offer you guys a lot within the workshops as well. So from then on forward, so that was in July of last year, and then we had the next workshop in August, and I actually hosted them. So I was running the workshops myself. No game plan. I just wanted to give the guys what I knew. So I wanted to take them through. So I structured it out to Andy. I said, look, this week I'm going to work on social media with the guys. So get their socials up, anyone that doesn't have it. And then next week we're going to work on networking. The week after, songwriting. Like, I want everyone to have a full immersive experience and come out of here knowing that they'll be better within themselves and be able to progress their career, not question where to come from. And the last show, which happened on the 6th of October, was just amazing. We managed to raise over £10,000 for the Whitechapel Centre. We've had a Christmas #1 contender 2024. So we got asked if we wanted to do a Christmas project through the SAE Institute. And so Andy asked me, he said, can you head this project for me? I said, of course I can. I'm going to bring in two guys. I'm going to bring in the winner of the last show, Sam Layden, absolutely phenomenal singer-songwriter, and John Paul, who's been in the industry for 20 years. I said, their knowledge and their help will be able to create this song, and we only had 3 weeks for it. So as we start creating the song, I started feeling something really special with it. I said to the guys, I said, I guarantee you this song is going to make it. This is going to be a great song. And then once the BBC got involved, actually, so we actually got a BBC news on BBC News Liverpool. We had a 5-minute segment on there telling us about the project. We had the BBC come down to the studio and record everyone. It was amazing. We've had so many features. So
fantastic.
It's
man.
just
I mean, look at that. So many strides that you've been making, and you still walk. And you still walking your road, not so much broken anymore.
Not so much,
you know
but it's
I mean?
still, I got to stay humble to the fact that
no, of course,
you stay with it. Like, even though I'm at this position now, I still want to better myself. I live by the law of attraction. You ask, you believe, you receive what you get out into the world. So if I carry on pushing out positivity, karma, it's going to come back to me. And last year really, really proved to me that, like, I can do what I need to do within the industry. And coming off the back accolades of that, I can approach any project in the world right now and use the accolade that I wrote a potential Christmas #1 in 3 weeks with a team. That's why I can do it. So it really boosts my career. Like I said earlier to you about my working career, I want to stay in the music industry. So if my music doesn't make it, even though I'll be pushing it just as much as my working, I'm still going to succeed within the music industry. I'm going to be able to give back to the younger artists that are coming into the scene and hopefully find the next biggest thing that comes up.
Well, OTB, look, this was all fantastic, you know what I mean, and everything. How can people find you?
Right, so if you go on Instagram, you can at me, OTB_only the realest. On Spotify, OTB. You have to search your song though, because there's so many OTBs on there.
Off-track betting.
Yeah, off-track betting, that's the one. So, TikTok, OTB_only the realest. So you can catch me on all streaming platforms. If you type in my latest song, Game Over, OTB, it'll come up for all streams for you. So, yeah.
Well, then also, too, in 2025, you know, I'm pretty sure people will be looking for Broken Roads. So,
exactly. Well, that's going to be the next big release. It's such a great thing to be coming out. I never thought that I'd be having a song coming out early in 2025. I actually had scheduled for August of this year. I was going to release an album and then work on the back end of the year, like fully just releasing. But well,
you always are performing at the condo events. So
always,
and then you know, Nicole's going to be doing the Carmelita event and stuff like that. You know, so I'm pretty sure you guys are probably like, yay, let's jump on together. And
100%. And even with shows for myself, I love bringing in collaborations for shows. Like my best friend, Dono. Yeah, Primal Live as well. But Dono is one of my best mates, and we've got about 5 or 6 songs together. Every single show I do, I always consider bringing them up on stage for a collaboration, depending on the vibe of the show,
Yeah. Well, OTB, you know, thanks a lot, man. I know we got to go. Phil just like sliced my head off like that and everything like that. But it was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Too,
I mean, it was all informative and stuff like that. Appreciate what you're giving back. So this was OTB the Realest. I'm Chase Johnson Lynch. And you know what? We out of here.